had a chat with Peter. I was just roaming around and talking to people incognito last night because I was ministering in Ballina all day, so I came late. And so I went up and I had a chat with Peter, and I was blown away with his story. So I was just wanting Peter just to share a little bit about your story. So tell me, you had an accident how long ago?
It's 40 years ago.
40? And what happened?
I broke my neck.
So which vertebrae got broken?
6 and 7.
6 and 7. And so how did that leave you?
I was paralysed down my left side. Not paralysed, as really, but I had no feeling down my left side.
And so how did you cope with that? What sort of things did you have to do to cope with that?
Well, it was very difficult. I was 3 years in a wheelchair, and I thought it's no good to me. I had to get out of that wheelchair, and I ended up with calipers. It took me 12 months to get walking again, but I never looked back. But I've had healing prayers for me over the years at Pentecostal Church.
So let me, just before you get to that, now you were also on pain medication?
Yes, that's correct. I was on morphine for 20 years and I was on methadone for 20 years.
Wow.
And that's pretty addictive, isn't it?
It is very addictive. Methadone is one of the most addictive drugs there is, apparently. And the doctors told me it would take 2 years to get off it. I did it in 3 weeks. With the Lord's help.
Wow, that's just amazing. So let's get back to this 40 years in pain, 40 years in suffering, 40 years wearing calipers, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
And you came from a Pentecostal church and you'd been prayed for?
Yes, several times, and nothing ever seemed to happen. And I would be, in the finish, I was becoming very depressed with it. And
So you'd been in this condition for 40 years, and for 40 years you'd received prayer, and nothing had happened for 40 years.
yes, that's correct. And
That'd bring depression to anybody, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But not only depression, but a state of, well, we've been here before and nothing. Is that the way you felt? We've been here before and nothing's happened? And
yes, that's correct. Yes.
And so then you'd heard that John Mellor was coming to town, and what happened?
Yes, well, we heard John was coming to town at Benalla, and my wife really wanted to go, and I said no, I wouldn't go.
So why did you say you wouldn't go?
I didn't want to be prayed for and be depressed again. It's so easy to become depressed, but so hard to climb back up again.
Yeah.
And I had said to her that I didn't want to go, but
What did she say to you then?
she wouldn't go without me, and so I had to go. So
That's female manipulation right there, folks. Come on. And every man's been exposed to it, but hey, you know what's good for you, don't you? You got to trust and obey. That's
yes, that's correct. And anyway, we went along, and I said to her, I'll have nothing to do with the service. But I listened to John, and it was very good.
And you're a believer here. It's not as if you're...
Yes, that's correct. And but I just didn't think that I could have healing. It just didn't seem to be for me. And after the initial service, I went out and had a cup of coffee, and I was going to go and sleep in the car until my wife was ready. And after my coffee, I went back in just to see and make sure she was right, and she was waiting in line for prayer. And as I went back in, Julie grabbed me, and I lost the anger. It just seemed to dissolve away. And we went down the front, and John came across. He was praying for a heap of people in line, and I said, no, not me, go back to them. But no, he insisted on me, praying for me. And well, the rest is history. It was just like I was sitting there in a pair of dirty old overalls and somebody lifted them off me, and there was my squeaky clean body underneath.
How amazing is that? How amazing is that? To life, that pain and wretchedness. So you were in pain for 40 years, unable to walk probably for 40 years, and how quickly did the healing come?
Immediately. John took my sticks away from me and he said, come on, walk. And I was very hesitant because I hadn't walked without sticks for 40 years. And I took a step and I thought, gee, that was easy. So we took other steps and I was as good as gold. And the following morning, I'm waking up and going outside. It was just so beautiful, the birds singing, the colour of the flowers, the lawn. Everything was just so vibrant to what it had been when I was full of pain.
That's great.
Peter, you sound as if you got born again. How awesome is that? I mean, dirty overalls taken off you, able to walk without pain. And so then when you went to see your doctor, what did he say?
And well, the doctor couldn't believe it. That he said to me, I said that I wanted to get off methadone. And he said, no, you don't get off methadone. He said, people have that until they die. And I said, no, well, I've got to get off it. And he said, well, it'll take 2 years. And I was on a heavy dosage of it. And anyway, I did it in 3 weeks.
Come on! Isn't that awesome? 3 weeks off methadone. And when did this happen, Peter?
This happened 2.5 years ago.
And how have you been over the last 2.5 years?
Getting better all the time.
And how well can you walk? Show us how you walk now.
As good as gold.
Walk as good as gold. Come on, folks. This is a miracle. This is a miracle. 40 years. But that wasn't the end of the story, was it?
No. On the Saturday, I went back to the next meeting and met John at the door. And he said, what are those things in your ears? And I had hearing aids.
So you had walking sticks and hearing aids.
Yes.
In pain for 40 years, on methadone. You were a mess, Peter.
I was a mess. And he said, what on earth are you doing with those things in your ears? Take them out. So I did. He prayed for me and my ears cracked like I was in an aeroplane. And I could hear as good as gold. And I have ever since. I haven't worn those hearing aids in 2.5 years.
Come on, church! That's awesome! What an awesome testimony of God's healing power. Peter, no wonder you're here today, rejoicing, and I just wanted you to share this story with our church because it's a story worth telling and a story worth repeating. God bless you. Thank you for coming. God bless you. Come on, let's give Peter a round of applause.